Today we'll be going through the assignment. So looking at the assignment 1 was to the task set up and configuration. Set up and configure your Git and GitHub account. Take a screenshot of your terminal, Git Bash or CLI showing your Git configuration email. Take a screenshot of your GitHub dashboard. Compile the screenshot into a document. So this is the first thing we have to do. Now, to get Git installed on your system, you go into your web browser and type Git download for Windows. Because I'm using Windows, now you can see download. Click on this. Now when you click on this, please, you need to download your PC version. Like I'm using Windows, so if you are using Mac or Linux, you click on Mac or Linux. So I'm using Windows, I'm going to be clicking on Windows. Now come here, standalone installation. That's where you go and check for standalone installation. Now I know that I'm using 64-bit system. Some of you don't know. So you press Windows R to open your command prompt and type msinfo32. So when you type this, you click OK. You get to see the version of Windows you are using. So when this loads, you can check. Come here, system type, you see 64. So it's trying to tell me that I'm operating a 64-bit system. So now that's that. I can go and download the 64-bit. Now after downloading the 64-bit, I click and I save it on my PC. I already have all these things, but because of you guys, I have to download again to just show you. So that's that for Git. I'm still downloading it, so let's wait for it to download. Okay, while the Git is downloading, okay, so Git, so it's almost done downloading. So we are done downloading Git. Let me open the location of Git, and now I will double click on this to install it. So once I double click on it, it will launch for installation. So let's wait for it. Pardon me, my PC is a bit slow. So okay, now let's wait. So you can see Git setup has launched. You can see the software Git setup is launched. Now it's telling me to accept all these things. When I click install, it will start installing. Just click yes for everything. Don't add anything. So it will install Git Bash and Git CLI for you. Now once you are done installing this, you've installed Git. This is Git and not GitHub. You've installed Git. So I don't want to install this because I've already installed it in my system. So let's exit that. Now if you type Windows R and you say cmd, that's you're opening your command prompt, and you type Git version in your terminal and click enter. Once you've installed, you are supposed to see the version of Git that is currently installed on your system to tell you that you've installed Git. If you don't see this, that means your installation wasn't successful or something. So now I've installed Git. Now the next thing we have to do is to configure this Git that I've installed. Now to configure the Git I've installed, I can go ahead from here to say Windows R, enter. Then I say Git config. Then I say user, okay, Git config global user dot name. So I say Timothy Ignatius. Enter. I've created my username for my Git. Now if I say git config globally, that means you are doing it globally. User dot email, and I say Timothy Ignatius a@gmail.com. I click enter. So I've been able to do number 1 and 2. I have username and my password. Now when I type git config username now, I will see my username. Did you see it? If I say git config password user.email, I will see my email address as I have declared before. That's to say I've enabled my email address and my name. Now the next thing I'm going to do, we've done this aspect, which is the Git. Now the next one is the GitHub account. I have to create an account with GitHub. Now next I'll have to go to my Windows, then I say GitHub. Okay, let me just go back. Just type GitHub, then you say login. This first one that pops out, say login. So now if you say login, so my network may be a bit hazy, so pardon me for that. Okay, it's loading. Let's wait for it for some minutes. Okay, so okay, now it's asking me to log in, assuming I already have an account. But since you are a new user, I already have an account. A new user, you have to create an account. Now to create an account, it's asking you for email. Now I'm supposed to input the email I have already imputed there before. You understand? You input your email, Timothy Ignatius. You understand? The email you have provided is already associated with a GitHub account, so this will not work. You understand? But let's say I use another of my email. Pardon me, but try and make sure that, so I say I use another email. Let me see, I'm using this email. Did you see? Say create email. What password do I want? So this is the password. My password. Pardon me, I'm showing you my password. That's bad. Okay, so we continue. It's asking me what username. I like to always use my first name, my name, and my second name as my username. So let it correspond with what we used here. So continue. So for the username, okay, let's use the abbreviation. So Ignatius, okay, let me use Africad, Afritech as my username. Africad, Afritech. I want to receive. You continue. Verification, they are going to send me a verification message, so it's best to open my Gmail in anticipation for that. So I'm opening my Gmail. So protecting your account, verify your account. Let's begin verify your account. So they're asking me to verify, so I'm going to click on verification. Now this is just a simple puzzle. They want you, they say use the arrow to rotate the object to face in the direction of the hand. So I want the object to face in the direction of the hand. Did you see? I'm assuming this should be what they want. So done. They want me to rotate this also. direction of the hand. So pardon me, I think it's not. No. Okay, let's try this one. Submit. So done. We are done with verification. So now they are saying they are going to send me a password, a verification mail to my mail. So let me open that particular mail. I think so. Africa Tech. As if I still remember the password. Okay, continue. So verification on my phone. So it's taking a bit of time to load. Let's wait for it so I can actually just access my mail. That's just the reason why. But I think they sent, so there's a code that has been sent already. 69822261. This should work. So it's working now. I can now sign into this account. So So they will ask me, I just tell them you're a student. So how many team member? And just say just me for now. Just you. Just continue. Don't click anything for now. So apply for Git student benefit. You can do this student benefit for Git. Or you just continue. I'm thinking we should just apply for Git student benefits. I think so. There's a lot of benefit that comes with Git student version. This is like an application. It will take a lot of time. So let's just create a Git free account. Let's just create a Git account. Sorry. I will do the magic for us. Okay, so continue. Just me. I'm a student. Just me. Student. Just me. An account for just me. Then we go continue. Then we say free. Continue it for free. So you've created a Git account. Now this is your Git account. You are done with these things they've said. This you have. That's how to create a GitHub account. Sorry. Now they say take a screenshot of your terminal or CLI showing your Git configuration email. So just like this that we did, you take a screenshot. So you come here, you can say just like I'd already displayed this. So just screenshot window shift S to screenshot if you are using. So you can screenshot this. So this is what I use. So screenshot and then save your screenshot so that you can use it later on in your Google Doc. So I've had to save the screenshot. Number 1. Okay, let me save it on up. So let me give it a name. Git CLI. So I've done that. Now the next thing we are asked to do. Set up your development. Okay, take a screenshot of your GitHub. Take a screenshot of your Git Bash. Then take a screenshot of your GitHub dashboard. Your GitHub dashboard. This is your GitHub dashboard. Click on dashboard. You understand? When you click on dashboard, this is your GitHub dashboard. You can select this, screenshot it. This is the dashboard, but for me this is not my dashboard. This is my main GitHub account. This is the account I use for my GitHub. So this is my dashboard. Let me see. This is my dashboard. This is my dashboard for my GitHub account. So I can just screenshot this. Come in. Pardon me. I could just screenshot this. Just screenshot this and save it. Now give it a name, GitHub dashboard for easy reference later. So we've done that. GitHub dashboard. Now the next thing we are asked to do is set up configuration. Compile the screenshot into a document and submit. They say we should compile the screenshot into a document and submit. So the next thing is to go on your, let's say, your Windows document. So if you check here, your Windows suite, there's document. So you create an online document. So doc, let's do that. Then you can create a blank document for, or you can even choose to use an amazing document, but well, that's, so we can start assignment 1. You can add your name and some other things. So change the name. You can say upskill assignment 1. You save this. Now import all the pictures that you just saved. So to import those pictures, you know the picture location. So download this one, upskill. So your first one is your terminal. Click on it, and the next one is this terminal. Hold your control, select all of them, paste here. So you can pick them in precedence. Take this one up. So I shall bring this down. Take this, whichever works fine for you. So this is your terminal. You can write git terminal or CLI. Okay, let's use CLI. So the next one, you can write git hub dashboard. So you've done that. So the next thing you are asked to do is to set up your development environment. Open any integrated development environment ID. That's like the VS Code that they are talking about. Create a new folder especially for your learning. Inside this folder, create a file called index.html. So we'll be starting with assignment 2 now. To do this, you have to download VS Code. Go to your browser, type VS Code. So so you click on download. When you click on download, please, you have to wait for it a bit. Pardon. So you wait for it a bit. So you can see different version. We are dealing with Windows, so we download according to my system Windows version. We click download. You see automatically it's downloading, but I already have this. I don't want to download, please. It's going to take much of our time. So download and click yes for everything, and that's all. So once you're done with that, you can just type VS Code here. It will appear. Then you click open new window. I want a blank window, so that we can start the project proper. So meanwhile, while it is loading, let's check. So the first thing is to load it, which is this. Create a folder for specifically for learning. So you have to create a folder. In as much as you created your VS Code, you've installed it, you have to create a folder somewhere in your system for specifically for learning. So now, okay, this is the VS Code. It's launching. It's going to take some time, but let's be patient a bit, please. Okay, so this is it, a blank VS Code, new window. For somebody that is installing it newly, it may show differently, but this is just it. So come here and click this. When you click this, just wait for it. My PC is a bit slow. Okay, so it's saying open a folder. So they say we should create a folder. You understand? We have to have created a folder for this, but if you haven't, you can create it from here. So open folder. So anywhere in your system. You can create a folder. So likely let's use our desktop. So we create a folder called the Genesis is it Genesis, or let's use Upwork, please. I think that spelling is still in my head. Upskill. So I created a folder, select that folder. Now automatically our VS Code opens that particular folder for us. Now you can see that the folder name has changed to upskill. Now the next thing we have to do is to create a file called index.html. So to create a file called index, you click on new file, then write index.html. Now you've created that file. So wait for it a bit. You see it's going to load. While it is loading, let's go back. So index.html, and this is what they want us to do. Step 1, basic HTML structure. Research use of the following tags in your own words. So HTML structure, research the difference between inline, semantic text and all that. So this is basically you do a research and try and add all these things. Then based on what you have learned, write a basic structure of an HTML. So based on all this your research, I don't want to go ahead and start explaining all these things, but based on this research now, we can now create a HTML page because we are now familiar. So you start with your name, your image, and a list of hobbies that you are good with. Then write a document with your explanation and HTML code, including screenshots with all your explanation, your results. Finally submit the document. So you may have done a research of this, and then so I don't want to waste time, so let's just click this thing, copy it, use ChatGPT to create something, a research on this. So let's go. So let's not waste time, create a research on this. So just paste it on ChatGPT. It's smart enough to create a content around this. So very sweet. I love this thing. I love it. So you can learn, if you can be diligent enough, you can learn with ChatGPT. It's very, very, very sweet. Very sweet, I tell you. So now it has created, we copy it. Now when we copy it, go back to that document you are creating. Assignment 2. So assignment 2, you see, research, your research work, paste it. Please pardon me because I'm using ChatGPT. There are some funny text that will be appearing here. So press window Ctrl H, then to remove all those texts I have ###. Please replace all. Anywhere you see ###, please, anywhere you see ***, replace them all to remove all these things. I don't want them. Anywhere you see what again? I think these are the basic one that will be a problem for us. So the rest is okay. Let me remove this. There's a sign. It's at the top. I don't even know. So remove, replace all of it. So dot, replace that one too. I think we are good with this. So we are good with this, please. So this is our research on this. You can even go ahead to read it later on. You can format them just for beauty's sake. So make this bold and underline. So you can choose to control everything and make them 12. Then you can choose to, because this is a heading, You can choose to increase this heading to, let's say, 20. Bold, underline, and let's say 20 also. Just basic formatting. So you have basically formatted your research. So these are research on this. So basically formatted this. So now, let me remove this. ChatGPT can add some. So now the next thing they ask you to do is to, okay, we've done our research, we've added the research. Now is to create a HTML, basic HTML, carrying your name, your image, and a list of hobbies. So now that's where we are going to code. So now that you've created an index.html here, please Control Shift, then the sign that is close to your escape key, you click it, your terminal will open. I've forgotten the name of that sign. So your terminal, this is your terminal. You can write command line codes here. So now the first thing to do, hold your Shift and 1. When you hold Shift 1, you create your boiler code. Enter to create your boiler code. So you know what a boiler code simply does for you now. If you go back and say Control Shift, let's say Shift 1 and the next one, you click it, you just create just this one. So I don't want it, it's just the boiler code. Shift 1, so I click. So this is my boiler code for my HTML. So the first thing they ask us to do is to create our name, your name. So your name, what is my name? So I can use a H1 tag, just type H1 and enter. So I can say my name, Timothy Ignatius. That's my name. So I can add a BR tag, a break line tag, or a bold tag. Then I write B bold tag. Then I write my name, then Timothy. Now when I launch this, because I already have a live server, please, if you don't have it, you can download it later on. So let me know, go ahead. We've said something about this, so it will launch this for me. It's going to be launching this for me. So it's going to be launching this. So now this is my name, Timothy Ignatius. So now I've created a name. This is it. This is what I just typed here. So they say we should create name. After name, we should create what? Image. An image. I'm not concerned about beauty now. Image. So image, you have to add a URL to your image. So the best thing to do, you can create a folder and put and say images. So let's create a folder, say img image, and there's what is called project structure, you understand. So it's best to put images in a folder and all that. So let's follow project structure. So I have an image I want to use, that different image we could use. So my image, so sorry, do I have a picture here? Okay, I have a picture. The picture may not be the best picture to use, but so drop it inside that folder. When you go to that folder, you see, you close it, you can't see it, but when you drop down, this is the image. This is my image. So when I come here, I'm going to add a link to that. So /, so you see folder, so I click on folder, then click image. The image is now showing there. Description, we can say this is the picture of Timothy Ignatius. So did you see it? So this is the picture of Timothy Ignatius. So the next thing you are asked to do is to what? A list of hobbies. So my hobbies. So they say a list. Normally if you want to create, they are ordered and unordered list. So you could use an unordered list or you use an ordered list. Anyone that suits you. Let's use an unordered list. So once we create an unordered list, it's supposed to carry a list. Now you can create a label for your list. A label. like, okay, this is a list. So we first of all create a paragraph, say my hobbies. So once I've created that paragraph, I can now create my list. So L1, I love what? I love playing instruments, especially the guitar. So the next one, Li, an avid reader of motivational books, and motivational of, let's say spiritual motivational, spiritual spiritual and intellectual books. So I also love, I don't play football, not again. So what do I love again? Okay, I love innovation, especially I love creativity. And innovation. Designing of intricate mechanisms. So you can say another of my hobbies, coding. So now if we go back to the launched, so we can see that this is showing here. Now some of you will say, this image, so my image is actually very big, it's not showing. So the best I could do is to say, okay, let me use another image. Do I have another image? That's another thing. Okay, let me check this. Do I have an image that would suit? Okay, so I have an image that could work for this. So it may not be the best image. So I have put a passport, my passport. So I could come here and delete all this. ing, okay, then /passport. So I'm working with passports now. So save it, and when we relaunch, we can see my passport. So let's go ahead and style this. So we want to add a style into this for beauty's sake, you understand? So we can actually put our style in our header. So this is called internal style. So the first thing you want to do is your h1. You want to style your h1. So to style your h1, you write h1, then you bring out your curly braces. So what style do you want to give to h1? Firstly, I would want to center h1. So text align. You can put text align your text to the center. So look at something. So when you align this text to the center, it brings it to the center here. Did you see it? So I want to add a background color to background color. I really don't know the color that will suit this, so the color may not be as catching as you want. So we create a background color. So for our image, what again? So I can increase the height of the background. Let's say the height is okay. So height, I want the height to be, let's say 20 pixels. So when I go back to this, it's smaller. 20 pixels is smaller. So let's make it 100 pixel. So you are seeing it now. We use align text. We have to justify item, and let's say center. So look at something. Okay, so is it justify item? Justify content. Justify content. Center. So go back. Supposed to. Justify content. Align align text align. Okay. Oh, sorry. And notwithstanding, don't worry. So okay, we'll be adding this style a margin of 0, so there will not be margin. You understand? A margin of 0. This is viewport height of 10. Then we put a flex. If we remove flex down, then align item center, justify content center, then border background. So this is the border background we are using. You understand? So now background color. So I think that's that for that. So the next thing is to say, okay, we've added style into this. The next thing we could do is to style this image also. So to style this image, we want it to be at the center. Sorry. So now your image, first of all, you want to align your identifier to the center. Use this flex, display flex, align. So go back. Sorry. Oh, sorry. So the next thing to do is to, okay, we are styling our image. So I can give the image a width. I can say the image 100% width. If I check this, my image is full. I can put a border radius of 50%. So look at something. Did you see that it's circular? But it's too big. I don't want it this big, please. So let me remove this and let me say 50%. Width of 50%. That's if you want to use percentage. It's best to let's use, let's say 30 pixels. It's too small. Let's say 200 pixels. I think this is big enough. we can choose to leave here. I want a margin top here of like 20 pixels, so that margin is like the outside border, this space here. So this is the margin. I think this is okay for me. Margin is okay. There are other things. You see all this space that is here. If I don't want it, I could create a style. Now say hash and say okay, padding 0, margin 0, then box style some okay, padding 0, margin 0. So if I come here, those space, we don't have them anymore. Can you see? We don't have those space anymore. So I can even create a margin at the back of this, but that's not why we are doing this. So now let's say you don't have all these extra spaces. So my hobby is a paragraph tag. So I can come here and say okay, for paragraph tag, for p tag, my hobby is to use font size of let's say 14 pixels, font family of let's say this, and let's say font weight of this, let's say 500. So if I come back to this, did you see this is a bit bolder? I can change it to 600 font weight, and instead of this I change it to 20 pixels, just for beauty's sake and drive the point home. Now can you see this? This is our list, an unordered list. Now the next thing we can do is to our UL unordered list. Now we may want to style our unordered list. So on our unordered list, we may want to style it to say okay, you should have so unordered list. Unordered list. I want to use this suggestion that it created for me. List style type none. So list my style type none. If we say dicks, let's say use dicks now. Look at something. Style type. Let me use cycle. So we are not seeing a cycle because there's no padding. So let's put a padding of let's say 20 pixels. So you can see your this thing now. So now if I want this to be position, okay, flex direction, and I say column. If I put flex direction column, it won't do because I didn't declare what is called display, and I say flex. So if I display flex, I'm supposed to So we have done this. Flex direction. I don't know why flex direction is not working. Sure. Let me pause this thing and get it. So flex direction, I want it to be a row, not column. Sorry, I want it to be a row. There are different other things, attributes you could add. So it's a row, you understand, and I want a gap. There should be a gap, at least a gap of, like, let's say 10. Okay, look at something. I don't like the way this is. I don't like it. Let's create a margin. Let's say 20 pixels for each of the elements within this. It's still not, I think it's best the way it was before. So we can just remove this. I think this is okay. So we can just create a margin, of, let's say, 20 pixels. Padding 20 pixels. Okay, we created a padding before. Let's increase it to 50 pixels. Okay. Oh, so to be able to see it clearly. So there's something I wanted to do. Margin top 20 pixels. So you see it, but all this space I'm just putting, there's no need for them, I think. So margin, let me just put margin top 10 pixels. So there should just be a space between this and this 10 pixels. But I can put a padding. I actually need a padding around this. Padding, let's say 20 pixels for everything. So that everything will show. But I can as well increase this padding. If I put 50 should make sense. So 50 is too. Okay, margin, let's just leave it at 20 pixels. Margin. Then we can actually, if we want space within the element, we can add that's why it's not showing since, because there's no closing tag. So now we can add space between the li element and say give us a padding of 20 pixels. A padding of 20 pixels. So we space it, but I think it's too much. Let's make it 10 pixels, and this is it. So, and this is just something basic. Yours may not be as basic as this. You may complicate it by adding. So I don't want the space for this image. I want, let there be a padding around the image. Padding of 20 pixels. I just like it that way. So this is my image. So I can even remove this margin top. So if I remove margin top, and I can remove, since I add this to my p tag, okay, to my, there's no need of this margin, so remove that. So there's this space. If I still like, if we come on this one, and there'll still be space, but the thing is that this space will affect. So let me just take this one the way it is, so that this list can show. So basically you've been able to create this your assignment. Write the document of you've been able to do this assignment. Include screenshot. Now the final thing is that write a document with all your explanation and HTML code. Include screenshot of your results. Finally submit the document. So you should include screenshot and submit this document. So include screenshot and submit the document. So what you need to do next is what? Include a screenshot. So come here and screenshot this. So shift window S to screenshot. So screenshot this. This is what you've done. So you can save this as, let's say, okay, this is basic. This is a basic web. Basic. Okay, let's say info web page. Or let me put Timothy info web page. So I've done this. I can now go back to that folder I created before, to the doc I created before. So this is the doc. So this doc now I can add my image. So I can say Timothy info web page. Now this Timothy info web page, I click on it, I bold, I to on italic, U to underline, then paste the image I made. So to paste this, no, not this image, sorry. So the image is usually here for me. So I paste it. This is my web page. I'm done with the assignment one. I've created my research, done whatever they asked me to do. Now to share this, you click here and say share. Remove restriction, anyone with link. Then copy this link. When you copy this link, you can now go to the this thing folder. They say you should submit your document here. So click on this, allow. So it will take you to the web page. So you can now start filling it with your email, your name. What is my name? Timothy Ignatius Agbo. Okay, Timothy Ignatius. Then W. So as indicated on my dashboard. Last name. Last name Ignatius. So what web development, link to your email, to your this thing, you paste it here, then you submit. That's just it. I hope I've been able to help out, sure. So you can actually just make your web page more beautiful, add some other things. This is just to, I don't want to waste more time on this video. So thank you very much. Please like and subscribe to the YouTube channel so that you motivate me to always keep doing these videos.